All right, in this video, we're going to go over using linear models. All right, so now that we know how to use linear equations, now we're going to learn how to use linear models. All right, here's your vocab. A scatter plot, a graph that relates two sets of data by plotting the data as ordered pairs. Now, your second one, correlation, the strength of a relation represented by R. Line of best fit, which is a line that gives the most accurate model of the related data. And correlation coefficient, it indicates the strength of a correlation. All right. And actually, that's a mistake. That's not R. This is represented by R. Sorry about that. All right. So let's go over what a scatter plot is first. All right, so here we have some data. We have the years and we have the price of 1 gallon of milk. So with a scatter plot, what you do is you plot them as ordered pairs. All right. We'll make the years X and the price Y. Now, let's make 1997 year 0. So this is year 1, and then this would be year 3 because it's 3 years from 97. This would be 5, this would be 7, 9, and 11. It'll make our X values easier to plot. All right, so here we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, because this only goes to 10. Now, since it only goes to 3, let's say this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so at year 1, or at 1998, it was $2.65 a gallon. So we'd go up to $2.65, about right there, and put a dot. Year 3, it's $2.89. So 3, go up to $2.89, which would be about right there, and put a dot. At year 5, or in 2002, it's exactly $3 a gallon. Year 7, it's $3 and a penny. Year 9, it's $3.20 a gallon. And year 11, it's $3.77 a gallon. So that's a scatter plot. That's all you do for a scatter plot. You figure out your X's, which in this case is the years. And then you figure out your Y, which in this case is the price per gallon. We plotted our X's and our Y's. And then you just go through and you make these an ordered pair. X value, Y value, X, Y, X, Y. You just make them ordered pairs and you plot them on a graph. That's it. That's a scatter plot. Now, line of best fit. What the line of best fit is, and I'm going to use a light colored marker here. I'm going to use pink. Line of best fit, what that is it's just a line that, because obviously this isn't linear, okay, because you can see it's not a straight line. But what a line of best fit is drawing a straight line through here that's as close to all the points as it can possibly be. What do I mean by that? Well, obviously, we wouldn't draw a line like this because that's not as close as it can get to that point. All right? We would want to make our line as close to all the points as possible. So it would go somewhere, it's a freehand line, somewhere through there like that. Okay? It's supposed to be a straight line. It's not that straight, but now, so that's your line of best fit. Line of best fit. All right, that's your line of best fit. Now, there's two ways to find the equation for your line of best fit. You can do it by hand, which I'm going to show you first, or you can do it in the calculator, which I will show you, but I'll show you in just a minute. All right, now, so what we need to do is we're actually going to end up using point slope form. All right, which means we have to find the slope of this line. But now you're going to ask me, well, how do we pick 2 points because it doesn't go through anything? Well, what you do is you look at your line of best fit and you pick 2 points that you know for sure. Like if you look, it goes through this point right here for sure. And then you look to try to find another point. Well, if I would have extended that straight, it would have also went through that point right there. All right, so this first point here is 1, 2.5. And this point here is 9, 3.5. So those are the 2 points we're going to use to estimate our line of best fit. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is do the slope, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is 3.5 minus y1, which is 2.5, over 9 minus 1. So that gives us 1 over 8. So our slope of our line is 1 over 8. Now, you can pick either point. Now, to use this, I'm going to use 1 and 2.5 because it has smaller numbers. So y minus 2.5 equals 1/8 x minus 1. So y minus 2.5 equals 1/8 x minus 1/8. So add the 2.5, add the 2.5. So y equals 1/8 x. Now this is going to be, let's see, this is 2.5, which is 5 halves. So we're going to do negative 1/8 plus 5 halves. And we know it's going to be a positive number, so I'm going to go ahead and put a plus. So we need to go over 8, so we have 1 over 8 negative plus over 8. So that'd be what, 20 over 8? Because we had to multiply this by 4, so you got to multiply that by 4. So this comes out to 19 over 8, which doesn't look like it reduces. All right, so that is the equation for our line of best fit. Y equals 1 over 8x plus 19 over 8. All right, so that would be the equation for this line of best fit. Okay, that's really all to do it by hand. That's really all there is. You just pick 2 points that your line goes through, or is really super close to. And then you use those 2 points, you find the slope, and then you pick one of the points and plug that and the slope into your point slope form, and you just simply solve it for y. So that is the equation of that pink line, which is the line of best fit. Now, I also told you I would show you how to do this on the calculator, which that's what I'm going to do now. Keep this chart to where you can see it while we're doing this, so you know where I'm getting my numbers from, because I'm using this chart to get my numbers. All right, so if you have a TI-84 or a TI-83 or something like this, or if you have the Inspire, I'm going to show you how to do it on both of them. Okay, so first turn them on. I'm going to go over the 84 first, but I'm going to do them at the same time. All right, so on the 84, you hit the stat key, and then it says edit, edit. That's what you want. You want the edit lit up, and you want to choose edit, which is number 1, which once you hit the stat key, that's the first one that's highlighted, so just go ahead and hit enter. As you can see, I've already got my values typed in, but what you do is you type in your X values, which is the years since 1997. That's why I went ahead and converted them to numbers. And then in L2, you put your Y values, which is the cost. So 2.65, 2.893, 3.01, and so forth. Okay, on the Inspire, you see down here how you have these things across the bottom? You want to go to the one in the middle that says Lists and Spreadsheets. And hit enter. It'll bring you up a new spreadsheet. In column A, type the X values, which is the years since 1997. And in the B column, type your Y values, which is the price of your milk. I've already got those typed in right there. All right. Now, if I'm going too quick, you can always pause to catch up. Okay. Now, the next thing you want to do on the 84 is you want it, after you have your lists in, right, and after you type the 3.77, make sure you hit enter or whatever to go down so that way it does take it. You hit the stat key again, and then you go to calc, and then you go down to lin reg or linear regression. Okay, because your line of best fit is linear regression. Okay, so you go down to linear regression and you hit enter, which is number 4 on mine. It should be number 4 on yours as well. Make sure it says AX plus B, and you hit enter. Now, your X list, that's simply, if you put it in the first column, that is L1. Your Y list, if you put the price of your milk in your second column, that's L2. All right. Don't worry about frequency list or store regression. You don't have to worry about those. Okay, and then you hit calculate. And there's your A and your B. All right, there's your A and your B. You can round to 2 decimal places if you want to. All right. Now, if you come over here on the Inspire, what you're going to do is you're going to hit the menu button. After you get all these typed in, hit the menu button, go down to Statistics, and then Stat Calculations, and I'm hitting the right arrow, and then go down to number 3, which is Linear Regression, MX plus B. And then you want to hit Enter. Now, your X list, if you put it in the first column, it's A with the brackets beside it. I'll show you how to type that in. You just hit A down here on your keyboard, and then if you look right above, right next to the 0, all the way to the left, in the blue, you'll see the brackets, okay? You hit Control, and then hit that button. It's Control, open parenthesis. And it'll put the brackets in there, and then hit Enter, so it highlights it. If you don't highlight it when you hit down, it'll give you a list, and it won't work right. And then for your Y list, do the same thing, but with B. So B, Control, open bracket, and then hit Enter. Now, the rest of this you don't have to worry about, so you just use your arrow and come all the way down and hit OK. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm sorry, you don't want to do that yet. Go all the way down to the bottom, first result column. We don't want it to overwrite what we've already typed in. So let's make, and to give it some space, let's make this column D. Okay, make that column D, and then hit Enter at that point, and it'll give you your linear regression over here in columns D and E. Now, for those of you who have, okay, we don't need that. For those of you who have a TI-84, it won't show R squared and R, but on the TI Inspire it will, because if you remember, R is your correlation coefficient, okay? And if you look at your correlation coefficient, it's very, very close to 1, okay? Since it's very, very close to 1, that means that this equation that you're going to get from these numbers is very, very accurate, okay? The closer the number to 1, the closer R is to 1, I'll write that down. I mean, you can't see what I'm writing on right now, but so the closer R is to 1, the more accurate your line of best fit. All right, now I'm going to move these aside for a second because you should have the numbers up, so leave the numbers up. Okay, so here we go. The closer R is to 1, the more accurate your line of best fit. Okay, and if you notice, if you have the 83 or 84, it's going to say A. If you have the Inspire, it's going to say M. That's your slope. It's 0.09, because you can round it to 2 decimal places. And then your B, which is your y-intercept, is 2.53. All right? And I got those numbers straight from here. All right? Whoops. I'm going to have to bring it back. Give me a second. Won't take me very long. There we go. Got it back now. So now you can write your equation. Y equals M or A, depending on what calculator you have, which is 0.09x, and then plus 2.53. All right, 2.53. So that is your equation. So now that we have our equation, say we wanted to, let me change colors here. Say we wanted to estimate the price of milk in, say, 2020. All right. Now we have our equation. So now it's really easy because all we have to do is figure out how many years 2020 is from where we started. Well, if you remember, we started in 1997. So 1997 to 2020 is 23 years. All right. Well, if you remember, this is also our x value. Well, you put your x in right here. Y equals 0.09 times 23 plus 2.53. You simply do your math, and you're going to get y equals $4.60. So once you get your equation, you can estimate the price of milk pretty accurately, because since our correlation coefficient was very, very close to 1, this is going to be a pretty accurate estimate. Okay, so it's going to be about $4.60. I'd say give or take 15 cents. Okay? So that's pretty much it for using linear models. It's a lot about linear regression and, line of best fits and things like that. So make sure you have the vocab written down. Make sure you understand what we did, and make sure you understand how we did it in the calculator. So, and then come tomorrow, ready to work some problems. See you tomorrow.